Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John and it's time for another episode of Hate It or Love It, the series where we look at why people love or hate a certain band or artist. And today, the artist in question is arguably the biggest artist on the planet in the entire universe right now. It's young William Eilish, aka Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell. I had to look at that to make sure I had it entirely right. But how are you gonna hate someone whose partial middle name is Pirate? Why do people hate Billie Eilish? She's on top of the world, on top of her game right now, putting out some music that I'm definitely a fan of. But people online don't exactly seem to be all that impressed. Of course, she's won over millions and millions of fans, and of course followers. Her Instagram has flooded to more than 40 million and other socials close behind. But a lot of people don't seem impressed for a myriad of different reasons. So keep in mind, I have to give a disclaimer as always, unfortunately, because it seems like it stumps a lot of y'all out there. These are not my opinions that I'm putting out. I will let you know if I disagree or agree with each point as we go through and break them down. But this is a general consensus that I've found. The 7 reasons why the internet hates Billie Eilish, according to Reddit, according to think pieces, according to all of the other sources that I've scoured throughout the entire interwebs, and I put them into one video. We need to let a major cat out of the bag first. The fake, edgy, deep lyrics, at least that's what some people call them, they don't feel that Billie is authentic. They think that these lyrics are twisted in a way that makes her sound cool, because that, alongside her voice, her vibe, her persona, the dark pop, alternative pop, whatever she is, people feel that she's being a tryhard. I've also seen people going through and talking about how her lyrics tackle these deeper subjects that might appeal to younger people, sure, and they're kind of afraid that she's not handling the responsibility of being so popular and relaying messages very well to her audience and that they can be harmful. I personally don't see it that way because everybody's truth is different in terms of how something hits them. Not everything is so black and white. And for the fake edgy thing, I guess I can see that perspective, especially if she's talking about all of these different roles that she's putting herself in, and it seems like she's setting it up to be something bigger than it actually is, especially given that she apparently has a problem with rap's lyrics not being true. I mean, maybe I have a problem with that sometimes too, but also, Billie, when it comes to that, I have to call you on it and say that not all of your songs are 100% authentic either. It's done for the sake of telling a story. So when it comes down to lyrics, I can understand some of the complaints. Personally, I don't really have a problem because I do find a lot of her songs very cathartic, but I could see why it grates on people's nerves. Here's the age-old argument that I love seeing people throw out every time somebody blows up, but it's, oh my god, Billie Eilish doesn't deserve to be this famous. Like, she's talented, but she doesn't deserve that much fame. Come on, bro. Who is the gatekeeper here? There's a lot of you in the audience. Go ahead, raise your hands. I will call you out. I do think that gatekeeping is such a weird thing, especially in mainstream music, because Billie has most definitely crossed over. It's no longer an indie pop thing that's maybe a little bit niche. No, Billie is mainstream now. So yes, she's open to criticism, and of course, I have been critical in a few places. But I genuinely do feel that it's very weird to say that somebody doesn't deserve a certain amount of fame, especially when they clearly do have a talent. It's not like she's just propping herself up on the backs of like 80 co-writers. It's genuinely just her and her brother the majority of the time. And to say that she shouldn't have skyrocketed like this and that somebody else should have taken the place, a different artist, a different band, I understand why you could feel despair and like, oh, my favorite band is never gonna make it, but just know that unfortunately with that mentality, that means you would have to turn on your favorite artist when they blow up too. So think about it. Going hand in hand with my last point, a lot of people seem to feel that Billie is too young for all of these accolades that she's being handed. In the thumbnail, you can see a picture of her stacking up all those Grammy wins, and she definitely swept at the 2020 Grammys, and a lot of people were very alarmed at that fact. I was happy because it fended off a few that I really didn't feel deserved it. Would I have liked to have seen more diversity? Absolutely. And not that Billie didn't deserve her wins, but it's not just the Grammys. She's obviously taking home other awards. She got to do the James Bond theme song, No Time to Die, so young in her career, and a lot of people just did not care for that, considering it's been in the hands of Sam Smith and Adele and many other notable artists in the past. And yeah, Adele's Skyfall versus No Time to Die, it's not even a contest which song is better. That obviously goes to Adele. But No Time to Die is solid in its own right, and these are things that I think people like to nitpick more and more as they see Billie as this young artist and how much could she possibly have to say, why should she get this honor? Well, the Bond theme song has often gone to very popular artists who are blowing up at that time and who actually deserve to take on something that's seen as so important. Billie is given that right because she's obviously extremely talented, and you can say what you will about the actual song itself. I don't think it was jaw-dropping or flooring, but the fact that she is being given access to a lot of things like this at such a young age of only 18 currently, that's perfectly fine with me. I would rather it be this than Ray Shrimmerd or something. Billie Eilish, the industry plant. Just imagine the record labels over there in the corner, just watering her every day, putting a little bit of extra nutrients in the soil, and oh, there we go, it's a superstar born right out of this bedroom. We even wrote up this awesome backstory for her like she's a video game character. No, that is unfortunately not what happened. That's been disproven by pretty much anybody who has bothered to look into her career at all. It's unfortunate that a lot of people feel that way, but I can understand the skepticism, I suppose. If you look at something and you feel like you're questioning an artist's authenticity, it's generally pretty easy to peel back the layers and see, oh, they're not entirely who they claim to be, who they want to be, or they're being controlled or manipulated by a label or somebody overhead. I don't see that being the case with Billie. Nobody put her there. She put herself on the map. She was the self-proclaimed Justin Bieber stan for so long, and then she grew up and started making her own music, just in a very different way and in a much better way than Bieber, but that's a different story. You've heard of the old whistle while you work routine. Well, how about at number 5? Why do people hate Billie Eilish? It's whisper while you sing. A lot of people seem extremely aggravated, and I've seen this a lot in various discussion boards online, including Reddit, that the whisper vocals are just a little bit try-hard for them. Like, I can't do it. She doesn't actually sing like this. Why does she have to mumble? When are we gonna leave the mumble pop phase? We had mumble rap, now it's mumble pop. I honestly feel that this ASMR-styled singing does fit her. Occasionally, she breaks out and lets those vocals shine. She obviously knows her way around a pop hook, considering how big Bad Guy actually got, and the massive audience that connected with. But some of her other moments, like When the Party's Over, showcase those vocals in such a magnetic, hypnotizing way. I genuinely feel that she's a talented vocalist, and perhaps, sure, as she gets older, maybe she can show us more of that range, but to say that she's so limited or that she's not skilled as a vocalist, there are different styles of vocal training, and I think that even any vocal coach would tell you that. You don't have to be impressed, but you also don't need to really slam down simply because it's not your style. Ghostwriter Phineas has entered the chat, allegedly, that is. A lot of people feel that Billie Eilish does not write her own material and that her brother does all of the work. Phineas is very talented. I've listened to some of his solo stuff. He even had a band called The Stylists, I believe, that went on tour for like Warped Tour back in 2015. He's been all around. He was on Glee back in the day. So the dude is versatile, and I can understand why people maybe feel that his work ethic is perhaps better or stronger. But from everything that both of them have said, it's a two-part thing. It's an effort that goes between both of them. Maybe somebody has a little vocal idea, somebody has an instrumental musical idea, and they bring it together and work it out. Now, obviously, Phineas has been around a little bit longer, maybe he has more expertise in certain areas, but he's really helped mentor and guide Billie as she's kind of come into her own. It's a coming-of-age story, and I don't necessarily feel that one is doing more work than the other, or that they're keeping a chart or a log of who is doing exactly what. I think a lot of the lyrics genuinely do come from Billie, and I don't personally feel that he's over here just writing all of the songs saying, alright Billie, that's great, but we're gonna update this here and we're gonna change it. I think songs like Everything I Wanted are proof of that, considering she wrote it about a dream that she had about her brother Phineas. So it's up to you whether you actually believe that she's writing her songs or not. I do feel that she is, and I think some people just kind of look at her and say, oh, she's the girl over there that is not like the other girls, and she is just sitting there brooding and pouting and not smiling and everything else, and Phineas is doing all of the work. No, it's a two-person effort. The final reason that I've stumbled onto that people don't like Billie Eilish is her fans. Toxic fans and toxic stans can be terrible, and stan culture in general is at an all-time low in terms of just how toxic it can be. It's alarming when I go on and just see the things that these people talk about and how it can be so distracting to the music itself. It feels like maybe the fans of the stans don't actually care about the music as much as they do her persona that she puts out online, or the vibe. But it seems like Billie herself is even unsubscribed to the idea of social media being so important. And yes, it does help drive her career because she's incredibly well known there, but she's stopped reading comments herself because it's dragged her down. If it's dragging her down and it's your own fandom, then you know something is wrong. There you have it, everyone. 7 reasons why the internet hates Billie Eilish. Did you agree with any of these points, or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments section down below, and don't forget to drop a like on the video while you're here. And keep in mind, of course, the general points themselves were not my opinions, and I, of course, gave my 2 cents on the majority of those. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Hate It or Love It. I'll have more of these coming very soon. If you want to see more of those in the meantime, there's a full playlist right here, or tap here for my review of Billie's album. Other than that, you can find me on social media, including my Patreon if you want to help support the channel. It's patreon.com/ARTV, and I'll see you soon for more right here on Beyond ARTV.